In the last video, we added blocks to the sketchbook from the library. Let's add a few more. Click Libraries on the top menu bar and click Block Library to open it. Click any style. Click a block to select it. Click Add to Sketchbook. Click another block. Click Add to Sketchbook. Remember, don't worry about taking items out of the library. These same items will be back in the library the next time you open it. There are several ways to see the blocks you've just added to the sketchbook. If you're still in the library like we are now and forget which blocks you've just added, you can click the word Sketchbook here to quickly see which blocks you've added so far. To show you the other way to see the sketchbook, we need to close the library, so I'll click the Close button. So how do you actually see the sketchbook? Look right up here at the top toolbar. These red buttons are the sketchbook buttons. The Add to Sketchbook button is supposed to look like a big arrow adding something to your sketchbook. You'll click this when you have a design on one of the work tables that you want to add to the sketchbook. The View Sketchbook button shows eyeglasses representing viewing the sketchbook. Add to Sketchbook, View Sketchbook. Remember these two buttons because you'll use them all the time. When I click the View Sketchbook button, the sketchbook opens. Now, what is the sketchbook? The sketchbook is like a notebook where you store all the design ingredients and finished design ideas for a project. The sketchbook has sections here for each of the items that can be in any particular project. If I click Blocks, I'll see the blocks I just added to my sketchbook from the library. I'll close the sketchbook now, and here I am on the quilt work table with an empty quilt layout. So how do I get those blocks from my sketchbook into this quilt? The quilt tools are all over here on the right side. Click the Set Block tool. Here are all the blocks that I took out of the library and added to the sketchbook. To use a block, click the block to select it. Notice the frame around the block to show that the block is selected. Then click the quilt to set the block. Click any block. Click to set it in the quilt. I'll set a few more blocks. To save this quilt in my sketchbook, I'll click Add to Sketchbook. You'd follow these same steps to add fabrics to the sketchbook so that you can use them in the quilt. Let's do it. Click Libraries, Fabric Library, click a fabric to select it, and then click Add to Sketchbook. Click another fabric, click Add to Sketchbook. Click Close to close the library. Now to find that fabric and use it in a quilt design, click any of the coloring tools. These are the coloring tools right here on the toolbar. We'll use the simplest, the paintbrush. If we click the paintbrush, we'll first see the default fabrics that are always in the sketchbook with each new project. Notice the label here at the top of the palette says Sketchbook Fabrics and Colors. To see the new ones we just added, drag the scroll bar all the way to the right so you can see the end of the list. Newly added fabrics are always added at the end. To use them, you'd click directly on the fabric to select it, then click on the quilt to color with it. The Command key and Option keys on your keyboard are like speed keys that work with the Set Block tool and the coloring tools. Try holding those as you click to see what happens. To save this quilt to my sketchbook, I'll click the Add to Sketchbook tool. Click the View Sketchbook button. Click the Quilts button.